two of our most exquisite specimens that we have produced so far. Today, we're going to be talking about breeding. I spent a lot of time talking to different people about breeding, giving out a lot of information over the phone. So today, I want to get into some of those topics so I can make a little bit of money off of my jibber jabber. So, we want to talk about breeding. First things first, this is a tri American Bully puppy, blue tri. The bloodline in this dog is just basically a bossy bloodline. Um, Bossy bloodline stems from two bloodlines mainly. One is a razor's edge via next level ace. Next level's ace, and they have a whole blood from next level kennel, which is out in Georgia. That's the first part of it. That's where you get your lilacs from and those deep muscles and the kind of a long face. This one doesn't have that long face, but they have sort of a longer kind of face. Next, in the bossy bloodline dogs, you have a dog from Camelot kennels or Camelot bloodline, Camelot and pit bulls. So essentially, bossy bloodline is Camelot's dogs and Razor's Edge dogs. It might be a little bit of splash of this or this here or there, but at the center of it all is a Razor's Edge and Camelot. If you trace Razor's Edge back, it'll go into pit bulls. If you trace Camelot back, that bloodline will go into pit bulls. And that's important. And we'll get into that in just a few. Next, right here, we have a half Camelot bloodline dog. I mean, a half bossy bloodline dog. And I believe the other half is just some red nose type of blood. Maybe red nose and Razor's Edge. But it's really just half Camelot. I mean, half bossy. I keep saying Camelot because to me, bossy is just a Camelot dog with color. This dog right here is extremely larger than this dog, just probably based on share of the mothers and the amount of puppies in the litter. There were only 3 of these puppies in the litter, and there were 10 of these guys. So this guy had to share with 10. This guy had to share with 3, or 9 and 3. So let's just get into breeding. So these guys are brothers through their father, but their mother's bloodline is completely crossed out. It's completely different. So with that being said, American bullies or pit bulls or dogs, all dogs have like, I believe it's 56 or 47 chromosomes or 56 chromosomes, whatever. And humans only have like 23. So with that being said, even though these guys are brothers, by them having different mothers, they're only like about, I want to say 50% related. And the same, if a dog from the same litter is only 50% related mostly to his siblings. So this is an outcross. So they only share about 25% of the same genes, which means that these dogs are two completely dogs. So if you were to breed these dogs, I could breed these guys' dogs with his offspring, and I could breed this guy's dogs with this offspring, and it would be completely different. And as a matter of fact, I know I said 25, but it's more like 15% of the same genes. So when we breed our dogs here, this is the ultimate specimen of an American bully, right? Bone, color, structure, pedigree, temperament. Now, when you look at this American bully, he's a more athletic version of this guy. This guy's going to be able to run further than this guy. This guy's going to be able to swim longer than this guy. You get what I'm saying? And this guy is probably going to be a lot heavier than this guy and wider. So we have different types of dogs that we breed for different purposes. So the purpose is to have dogs that can do more than other dogs, and then dogs that can add more bone to other dogs. So if we have a female that's lacking in something, let's say we produce a female that's lacking in bone, like this dog got more bone than this dog, then we could take a dog like this that has extreme bone and put that on her, thus creating a dog with a well balanced bone muscle ratio. We don't want to create dogs that are so heavy and so fat that they can't work. We go out and work our dogs every single day. And we don't want dogs with so much energy that they're jumping over fences and chasing rabbits and, busting out of cages. So we want that fine line between beauty and bronze and functionality and breed standard. The breed standard for American Bully changes from year to year to year. Um, but the breed standard was already set when the breed was invented. So, having dogs that have different structures is very important. Over here at Co-op Kennels, we're basically just dealing with other Co-op Kennel dogs in order to make a better dog. We want a dog that can function well in society, function well on a trail, on a hike. And we also want that color that everybody's looking for as well. But we're not going to sacrifice color for health. So I know the bloodline of this Merle. There's a lot of controversy about Merles, but I know the bloodline of this dog and where the Merle gene comes from as far as the mother's side. The father's side, I don't know too much. I mean, the grandfather of this dog, I'm sorry, but the grandfather of this dog, I don't know a lot about that dog except for what I saw. But I'm here to contest that I own the mother. So I know what the mother brings to the table, and I know the dogs that were produced in that litter as well. So that's food for thought. When it comes to the dogs that we have in our camp, I know mostly everything about this dog, everything about this dog. Um, when it comes to a controversial subject, breeding, inbreeding, line breeding, outcrossing. Okay, these are all American bullies. So if you decide to breed them, long as you breed into a healthy dog, that is the most important thing. The only way to know that if it's a healthy dog is to know about all the dogs in the lines. That's what gives me the advantage of breeding my dogs, co-op kennel dogs. I know what genetic defects they do or do not have. We haven't encountered really any defects. We haven't encountered anything that's really bad, anything health issues. So I do not want to bring other dogs from other kennels into my program or into the co-op kennel program. If you got a co-op kennel dog, you are a part of our breeding program. You're a part of the co-op kennel family. You purchased it. You purchased the rights to the name of co-op kennel in your dog. You have a co-op kennel's dog. I suggest that if you decide breeding that dog, you come back to co-op kennels. You do not want to add other dogs into your bloodline that you don't know about, that you don't know the history about all the dogs in the litter. You don't know what that dog has produced or what's in that dog. I know everything about these dogs. So when it comes to inbreeding, inbreeding is really basically when you breed, in my personal opinion, a mother to a son or a son or a father to a daughter. That is a very, very, very common practice in American bullies. In fact, if you have a dog like this that's a champion, you would want to take this guy and breed him to his daughter. You would want to take the son and breed it to the mother. That way, you have a better chance of producing more champions like this. These dogs are very expensive. They're very hard to produce. Oh, this guy's rowdy a little bit. Very hard to produce and very expensive. So, if you're going to breed some dogs, you want to make sure that those dogs produce the same exact thing. So, people will breed these dogs together. I don't have a problem with that at all because that is how the American bully it was created. and that's what they do. If somebody tells you I got a 2 times champion, let's say for instance, this guy right here has Willy Wonka, they're gonna say this dog is 2, 3, 4, 5 times Willy Wonka. What that means is that dog Willy Wonka appears in this dog's pedigree 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. That is very important. That is very important because people are not going to pay $5,000-$6,000 for a dog that may only have a champion or specific champion dog listed in his blood one time. This dog has Willy Wonka and another dog called Markov. I think Markov is Bossy's Markov or somebody's Markov. You can just Google Markov. You could Google Willy Wonka. And this dog got it in his blood like 4 or 5 times. I'm just being honest with you. 4 or 5 times champion. So that's what they would do. They would take this dog and breed it back to his daughter. Only problem that I have with that is this. A lot of times these guys are producing dogs that have defects, certain defects that I've found. The only one that I have found, I'm not even going to mention it, but let's just say there's a defect that you can have with certain dogs because maybe it's environmental, maybe it's genetics. You can't always put your finger on what's causing certain issues because a lot of times they overfeed these dogs, they over nutrient these dogs, and then you end up having certain issues with these dogs. My only thing is, if an issue occurs with a dog and then multiple issues occur with that dog, then that dog got to be phased out. But most people, they'll see the issues with the dogs and still keep breeding the dog in their bloodline. And then if they see it pop up again, they'll just keep breeding and breeding and breeding. Well, at the point that you see any health defect, whether it may be environmental, maybe you're overfeeding the dog and causing issues. Maybe you're feeding the dog the wrong kind of food and causing issues. Maybe you're overworking the dog and causing issues. Whatever the issue that occurs, now it's time to cut that blood. I.e., right here, this is a cut. Swoop. This dog is Bossy bloodline cut with another bloodline of dog, just totally different. Not champion blood, just totally cut with just good, healthy family dog. This is a show quality show dog. Blood, uncut, untapped. So now I got my cut, my totally healthy, more slender, more sleeker dog that I can use anytime I see any types of defects that pop up. I have 3 or 4 different male bloodlines. Matter of fact, let me sit here and think about it. I got 1 male bloodline, 2 male bloodline, 3, 1, 2. I got 3 male bloodlines. And then when it comes to females, I have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 female bloodlines. So all together, I got 6 bloodlines. I can go either way I want. Just because you have one dog, this dog's father does not mean anything towards these puppies. It does not matter because this dog is more of a cousin to his brothers and sisters, and this guy only shares the same dad. These dogs are totally unrelated. And to top it off, when you breed American bullies, you are supposed to keep the bloodline pure. You're supposed to keep it pure. You cannot take a Bossy bloodline, breed it with Pro Bulls, breed it with, let's say, some Gotti, modern day Pro Bulls, Mega Blood, Johnson Blood, whatever. And now you got 5 and 6 and 7 different bloodlines that you done mixed and cut this Bossy bloodline down. You had pure Bossy blood, then you cut it. If I cut this dog again with something that ain't got no Bossy in it, or any dogs that are in his dad's genetics, now I'm cutting it again. Now I'm cutting it again. Now I'm cutting it again. Here's the funny thing that people think they know everything, but they don't really know anything. Here's the funny thing about that. When you decide to cut that blood over and over, guess what you're going to get? You're going to get a pit bull. You're going to get a pit. That's it for this. That fits for this guy. You're going to get a regular looking dog with a long nose and a long body because it took a lot of compounding of genes to make this dog. Whenever you take the genes and you just keep cutting them and 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 cutting them, you're going to get something that doesn't look anything like an American bully. You're going to get, they call it a reindeer. Your dog is going to revert back to its natural genes of a healthy animal. So if you don't inbreed and you don't line breed, you don't crossbreed in with the same lines, you're going to end up with a skinny, scrawny mutt, a dog that does not look like this. You're not going to get this if you keep cutting the blood. You're going to get a dog that's more so slender like this one. But this guy even still just has that look. You can see that look in him. And this is our Merle. So we're only really concerned. You see how he has that regular kind of face, regular kind of dog, but he still got that body and a little bit of bone. He's our Merle. So we can have him a little athletic. We can have him with a little less bone. This dog will be able to run circles around this big guy. But this big guy is the kind of dog. I mean, this is a $6,000 dog. Anywhere, all day, every day. Straight up and down. So you have to inbreed, you have to line breed in order to keep this kind of dog. But we haven't done any line breeding or inbreeding or anything like that. We just happen to know that this dog has the same bloodline on both sides. We just happen to know that. You get what I'm saying? So with that being said, I can go back and forth. These guys share similar, this guy and this guy share one similar ancestor. So whenever I cut into his blood with this guy, whenever I cut with this blood with this guy or that blood with this guy, I'm going to get a dog that has a lot of traits that go back, and I'm not just cutting, cutting, and cutting, and cutting, and cutting, and cutting, and cutting. Because you think that just because a dog looks good, that when you do that breeding, those puppies are going to turn out. And what you're going to find out is whenever you take two dogs that have two totally different bloodlines that do not have anything to do with each other and you mix them, you're going to get a long dog with skinny features that is not going to come out like this. It's going to come out more slender, more regularly looking. But our goal here is just to create healthy, colorful family dogs. So we're not chasing any kind of ring champion, but we do have the capabilities of producing it with the blood we have. I.e., this is not an overfed dog. This is just a regular puppy. He's not overfed. He's not fed any supplements. He just gets meat. Sometimes he gets a little bit of meat, but he just gets dog food. It's not even a puppy food. He gets an adult dog food that's 25% protein, 15% fat. The average dog food that we would normally use, that everyone else uses, is 30% fat. 30% protein, 20% fat, or even 33% protein, 22% fat. But we don't use anything like that. We use lower numbers in our dog food. But I just want to say, so when it comes to line breeding, cross breeding, inbreeding, you're supposed to do that. So this dog is already doubled up, tripled up. So I wouldn't want to take him and then breed him back to itself. But I would cut it out one time and then bring it back. Or I would breed them all together in a certain way just to produce beefier dogs. So how I'm really doing it is when I have a beefy dog come out of the litter or a more colorful dog come out of the litter, those are the dogs that I'm going to be focusing in on doing the breedings. So if you got a male, come to us, we got you a female. My suggestion to you is find a cousin, brother, sister, auntie that you can place your female there because you're going to need help if you're trying to breed. So if you have a male, great. That's what you need to do. Because if you come to me like, hey man, can you breed my dog? I got my own males. So I already got my own stuff going on with my males. So I can't really just be trying to help people with their males. But it's possible that I may breed with a male that's not here one day, especially as if it's phenomenal. And if you're helping to promote co-op kennel, so I could come maybe breed with your dog, and then you're going to help promote everything. I recommend that everybody that got a co-op kennel dog, just promote that dog that you have. Do not go out and get a whole bunch of dogs. Promote the dog you have. That's why it's called co-op kennel. I can help you get a dog from one of your relatives, so you can put that dog there and do the breeding that you want to do like that. Maybe you have a male. Maybe I will breed with your male. It's a big possibility. But at the same time, are you promoting the brand? There's nothing stopping you from promoting the camp. You promote co-op kennels. You let people know where your dog come from, what bloodline you have, and you let them know this is what I got, and this is how I'm promoting my dogs. And this is where we breeding our dogs. You can see all the dogs and all the videos. Any questions you got about a dog, I got all the information on all the dogs from Co-op Kennel. When you go somewhere else, you don't know what they're doing, you don't know what they got, and you're gonna get what you get. Whenever something happens, you don't know what's going on, or why your dogs look like this, or what the hell's going on with my dogs, or I just lost some money. That's gonna be on you. And really just hark in on using me as your resource. I'm living with these dogs. I sacrifice my soul. It ain't easy. So it's no reason for you to go out there and get a whole bunch of dogs or try to do something with a dog when you could come back to where you got your dog from and build with us. We already got one person, two people that want to do breedings. We got a third person, but I don't know if that third person is really serious because a lot of people just be talking. But we already got two people that's doing breedings with the co-op kennel dogs. So we're gonna be doing those breedings, and they're gonna be phenomenal puppies. They're gonna be phenomenal puppies, and we're gonna be promoting, and we can work together to promote because it's not easy, guys. You don't know what challenges you're gonna face when you're trying to breed these dogs. So the best thing for you to do is to work together. When I started this thing called Kennels, it was for us all to work together. I wanted everybody that was around me to help out, and we was gonna all make money together and breed dogs together and have a great time. But what I realize is, if I say let's all go right, it's gonna be one person that's gonna say I'm going left, dog. If I say we all going straight, it's gonna be one person to say I'm not gonna move from where I'm at right now, dog. And then that person always get left in the dust. But now I got so many people, we're gonna all work together, man. Whether it's doing breedings, whether it's you promoting the co-op kennel brand because you promoting the channel, or whether you got a dog and you need to breed that dog, we're gonna help you fulfill whatever little thing you want to do with your dog. We got dog training coming. So if you want to get your dog trained, this dude is knocked out. He must have had he dog food drunk. But we got dog training coming, guys. So we're gonna be training dogs, obedience and all that before the end of 2026. So if anybody needs any training, we're gonna be having to have that facilitate that for y'all. So these dogs is gonna come with more than just this or that. But look at that color, guys. This guy is older than this guy, but this guy's gonna be taller than this guy. This guy is gonna be way taller than him for sure. This guy giving me trouble. All right, thanks.